Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fee and this is Money Philosophy. Thank you for coming back for another day of Tesla technical analysis. Today we will go over Tesla chart and I will also share with you a tip of the week regarding financial planning around Tesla. But before we get started, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I am a growth stock investor and a trader, and I'd love to share with you my investing and trading journeys. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, I have never asked anyone to contact me via WhatsApp. So if you get a reply from your comment asking you to contact me via WhatsApp, that is from a scammer. And I hope you'd know that by now if you are a regular viewer of YouTube. But if you are new, please know that I have not asked anyone, and nor will I ask anyone to contact me via WhatsApp. If you'd like to get in touch with me, the way to do that is through my Patreon page, linked down below. I would also like to share with you guys tip of the week, and that tip is if you have children, even if they are under the age of 18, you are able to open a Roth IRA account for them and contribute to there, especially if you have any kind of income cap or limitation due to your current earned income. You can set aside money via your children's Roth IRA account as long as your children have earned income. And there are a variety of ways to get your children to have earned income with economic substance. So if you're interested, comment down below and I'm happy to share with you some of the techniques and the tips that I have. I personally have 2 children and each of them has a Roth IRA account. They are paid by my company up to $6,000 a year, just enough for them to set aside money in the IRA or the Roth IRA account. And guess what? 100% of their money is invested in Tesla stock. And so when they turn 18 or 2025, that's where the time I'd love for Tesla stock to materialize further. For right now, I would just keep buying if Tesla stock continues to go down. Needless to say, I believe in this company long term, and I do think that in the next 10 years, Tesla could easily reach $2,000 if not beyond. So let's get right back into technical analysis for Tesla. So Tesla volume today was at 179%, which is pretty substantial. And as you know, that today Twitter news came out where Elon will buy Twitter as originally intended. And so I think this is really good news for Twitter, but at the same time, it caused a bunch of sell-off over at Tesla. So Tesla started the day pretty strong, but ended the day almost flat compared to yesterday. It's actually up 2.5%, but given the chart, it seems to be relatively flat in the grand scheme of things. Overall, the market today was pretty good. Amazon was up over $5. This is 4.5%. Is still trading below 50 days SMA. Apple is up over 2.5%. Once again, still below 50 days SMA, but that is still very good news for the technology sector. FedEx in particular, volume was over 200%, and FedEx went up pretty major today, over 5%. So I think it is a good day overall for both the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones, and I think that it is a potential reversal. However, I am not too naive to think that this is only going to go up from here. On the way up, it can also have retracement here and there. If you are interested in indicator, trend is a very good indicator, and trend is below 0.6, which generally mean that there is a 80% chance that the market will be red tomorrow. So once again, we are still not out of the woods yet, but it is on the way to a reversal. It is an opportunity to buy Tesla, in my opinion. As usual, I would be buying every time that Tesla retraces. Yesterday, I added decent chunk of Tesla in my portfolio, and I'm hoping to continue to add it. As you know, October 19 is the day that Tesla will be announced earnings, and so I think that would be a very critical day from now until then, especially the last week before earnings. We could see major volatility in Tesla. Back to technical analysis here. Once again, Tesla is currently trading well below 50 days SMA and 200 days SMA, which is roughly at $290. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, you can see that there is a major sell-off around the third hour of the day today because of the Twitter news. And then it went all the way down to about $241 which is yesterday's low, and then it reversed. Tomorrow, the pivot points are on the upper end, $257, which is the high of the last 2 days. The middle pivot points is $249, which is where it ends today, and the bottom pivot point is $234. If volume is good tomorrow, we could see Tesla swing all the way back up to 257. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla retrace a little bit and stay sideways for a little while the investors are still processing the Twitter news and the ramification or the perceived ramification that Elon might be spending more time over at Twitter compared to Tesla. I'm personally not overly concerned. I think Tesla is a very well-oiled engine that can run for a very long time. Elon only needs to provide vision and guidance and doesn't need to be there on a day-to-day basis. That said, I understand that Optimus does need a lot more of his involvement, and the growth of the companies for decades to come still relies heavily on Elon's participation in the company. So let's take a look at weekly chart. Weekly does show a multi-top up here, with the high point being around $414.50. And it has been retracing for the last few months, actually almost 11 months from last November, when it was at the highest point, and it has been retracing. So it is potentially a catalyst for Tesla to move down further with the Twitter news. But I do think that October 19 will give a lot of the analysts surprise. I think margin for Q3 would be phenomenal. I would have my estimate closer to the earnings date. But I do think that given the volume that Tesla has produced and delivered over the last quarter, coupled with the fact that it is highly profitable, it is a cause for celebration, in my opinion. So the week leading up to October 19 would be very interesting. But for now, I'm going to wait a little bit for the Twitter news to be resolved in investors' mind. And if Tesla goes down from here, it would be an opportunity to buy. I see that Tesla could potentially get to about $218. That would be a support right around May-June timeframe. So don't be surprised if Tesla gets there. In the long run, however, if Tesla is a $1,000, $2,000 type stock, I don't think it matters if you bought it at 218 or 245 or 257, right? So for that reason, I will continue to buy. Let's also take a look at other stocks in the market today. I do want to pay particular attention to FedEx. As you know, FedEx, not too long ago, it was decimated with a bad global forecast for supply chain. And so the stock moved all the way down from $205 down that day to $161. At the lowest point, it was around $141. So it has been moving back up. FedEx leaves a very big gap from 163 to 205, give or take. That is about $40 gap that it needs to fill. And I do believe that it will fill if it were to make it back at 50 days SMA. 50 days SMA right now is around $206. Once FedEx makes it back up to 206, it could easily get back up to 200 days SMA at 222. And that could add a lot of investors to the table, and it could continue with its bull run. FedEx is a shorter term holding for me. My long-term holdings usually in the technology sector and not necessarily in the supply chain area here, but I do think that FedEx has a lot of potential to bounce strongly in the short term. As you can see that over the last few weeks, FedEx was at complete oversold, so bouncing was just a matter of time. Yes, I understand the economic condition is not ideal for FedEx, and whatever guidance that it gave was very fair. But I also think anytime that the stock dropped down like this, it is due to some extreme selling. Sellers and investors will eventually come to terms and come to reasons, and they will buy FedEx again. My other favorite stock would have to be NVIDIA. Nvidia is right now at $131. It is pretty low, with the strong support at around $120. So this is definitely a type of stock that also is going through some tough time right now with regulatory concern. At the high point, Nvidia was at $346. So the stock is almost a third of its highest point, and it will get back there with just a matter of time. I think first Nvidia needs to get back to above 154. Once again, that is 50 days SMA. And then if it gets back up to 201, that would be cause for celebration. Nvidia is a good opportunity to buy right now, in my opinion. I'm not a financial analyst or a financial advisor by any means, so take it for what it's worth. I personally would be buying. Good old Apple. So Apple had a strong day today. It bounced pretty heavily together with the Dow Jones. So I think yesterday was a bullish engulfing, and today was a gap up, but also Apple stayed up pretty well throughout the day. Tesla is the only one that didn't really perform as well as the market because it has news separate from the rest of the market. But the market seems to be doing okay. Apple, however, does have this gap. This is $144 down to $142. This is a $2 gap. It will probably fill this gap before going back up. Let's see if there's anything else that we want to talk about today. Shopify. Of course, Shopify is one of my favorite stock to trade. I don't necessarily buy it for long-term holding. Shopify is just my short-term holding, but it is important to note that it was up 13.5% today. So it was also in the oversold territory at the end of September, and it started bouncing. 50 days SMA right now is around $34, and it needs to get back up there and stay above there for me to have any hope that it will resume bullish. For right now, it could just be a temporary bounce, but it is definitely good news for those who added it around $26, $27 area, which was not too long ago. For Shopify, it is a short-term holding for me, but given the fact that it moved from 176, this is post-split number, all the way down to $26, that has a lot of room to bounce back up. And when Shopify does bounce, it could be very vigorous. Shopify is one of those stocks that is very sensitive to the interest rate because it is a high growth stock. So when interest rate increase dramatically, the present value of Shopify necessarily reduce. And so I think this is a function of interest rate, and if and when interest rate normalize, which could take a few months, it will go back up. It is a very strong company. It just have very high valuation due to the fact that an investor bet on the growth of this company in the future. So this is it for this video. If you find the information helpful, give this video a thumbs up. If you would like me to elaborate a little bit further on the Roth IRA for children, I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know in the comment down below, and connect with me on my Patreon page. Buy me a cup of coffee over there if you love the channel. I look forward to seeing you guys over there, but I'd love to see you back on the channel the next time. Until then, thank you. Bye.